Manchester United remain the only team without back-to-back losses this season. It was a huge weekend in the Premier League, with results across the division having a major impact on all of the key questions still to be answered between now and the end of the campaign. Manchester United secured a wonderful 3 points as they dispatched top 5 rivals Chelsea to stretch the gap between themselves and Liam Rosenior's side to 10 points. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur found themselves in even deeper trouble at the bottom of the league, with Brighton's last gasp equaliser in the capital compounded by wins for Leeds United and Nottingham Forest. Then there was the small matter of the title race on Sunday, with Manchester City flexing their muscles and heaping the pressure on Arsenal with a 2-1 win against the current league leaders, now making them favourites to end the season top of the tree. As reported by Yahoo, Arsenal's defeat also had an impact on United, with Michael Carrick's men now for the only side in the league to boast a rather impressive stat. After losing to Bournemouth last weekend, Arsenal's damaging loss at the Etihad means United are the one remaining side who have not suffered back-to-back defeats throughout the campaign. The stat does feel a little hollow given the sacking of Ruben Amorim in January and their disastrous showings in cup competitions this year. However, United have made it to 33 games without losing to games in a row and have recovered from their woeful campaign last year to almost certain Champions League qualification this season. Should United carry the record on until the end of the May, they will have their ticket back to Europe's top table secured and fancy their chances of what would be an excellent top 3 finish. Carrick's side do face a tough-looking run-in, but with only 5 games left, they will expect to keep the stat intact and finish the season in the strongest form possible. Furthermore, 3 of United's remaining 5 games are at Old Trafford, which starts next Monday, with the double header of home games against Brentford and Liverpool respectively, next on the list. United then travel to Sunderland, who will pose a threat after a fine season back in the English top flight, before entertaining Europa League semi-finalists Nottingham Forest at the Theatre of Dreams. Should United avoid back-to-back defeats in their next 3, only a loss against Forest would leave the record vulnerable heading into the final game of the campaign away at informed Brighton. Despite it not being a season to remember for the right reasons, United will use this undoubtedly notable achievement as a base to build on going into next term. If they can turn some of the damaging draws into wins next year, who knows where they could finish, with the gap in quality between United and the top of the league not feeling as insurmountable it did this time 12 months ago. Michael Carrick's early success against Man City and Arsenal has created a managerial dilemma at Old Trafford. Michael Carrick has got off to the dream start as head coach of Manchester United until the end of the season, but are wins against Man City and Premier League leaders Arsenal enough to justify a premature permanent appointment? Manchester United fans should not get carried away with Michael Carrick, but why not? So far, Carrick has shown you do not need to suffer to win football matches. Instead, he's proved football is a simple game. But the dilemma now is whether he merits the permanent role, or, despite an apparent turnaround at Old Trafford, United should still bite the bullet and stick to their original plan to appoint a different permanent Ruben Amorim successor. Some fans have made up their minds, and the players are rejuvenated, but Roy Keane and Gary Neville remain cautious. Keane says United need a manager who you feel can get them winning league titles, well before the Derby Day win and the victory at league leaders Arsenal. Neville said there cannot be any consideration that Carrick takes the job. However, the Football United fans have been exposed to against Man City and Arsenal, the 2 sides at the top of the Premier League, cannot be taken for granted. As Carrick celebrated Patrick Dorgu's zinger to make it 2-1 at Arsenal, Neville said the stand-in United boss had put his hands up like the Messiah. What United have been exposed to in just 2 games is what they have been waiting for and prophesied about for over a decade. The football taught by Carrick works because, rather than treating the game like an exact science, he has allowed it to become an art of self-expression. Players playing to their strengths with the added pinch of nostalgia has been the recipe for Carrick's early success, with the squad no longer demanded to follow an elaborate instruction manual that never really makes clear what the final product would be. Carrick's United are direct, front foot, and have thus far been the perfect advert of United DNA, averaging more fast breaks than any other team in the league. Brian Boomer leads the line because he's made the most runs in behind per 90 in the Premier League this season. Bruno Fernandes is back in his favoured number 10 position as he remains one of the league's most potent chance creators. Dorgu has remained as a wide player because of his consistent displays high up the pitch,